Before I begin, I'd like to point out that I am getting over a cold, so bear with me. But besides that, I'd like to say thank you, parents. You are the backbone to all of us. You bring us back and forth to all the school functions we run and participate in. So thank you, and know that your job is never over. Good morning and welcome to the National Junior Honor Society induction. I'm Joey Lusby, the Honor Society President. Being selected as a member of this group is a great opportunity to be more involved in our school and community. It has been so fun to experience this with such amazing people. I would also like to thank everyone for being here, especially Ms. Kim Roof and Mr. Tony Navarro from the Board of Education. We know you are all very busy. Thank you for making time to be here. Now I'd like to introduce our members as they come forward. Marissa Amadeo, Meredith Embry, Taylor Gonzalez, Maddie Haas, Carrie Jacoby, Kensley Ketchum, Ty McReynolds, Danielle Mellon, Denasia Morton, Kelsey Pitcher, Emma Poteet, Skylar Smith, Sarah Stack, Abby Stewart, Haley Thorne, John Austin Van Hooser, Shannon Ward, and Justin Winston. Please give them a round of applause. All of our members have shown outstanding leadership, service, scholarship, citizenship, and character. Being selected to be in this group means that you are more than just a good student with good grades. Everyone here has shown that they work hard in and out of school. As a group, we prepared a slideshow showing some of the volunteer work that we do in and out of school, as you can see already, or did. A few of our members will be describing the 5 pillars of our society. Up first is Maddie Haas and Taylor Gonzalez with scholarship.
Well, first, we have a question. What kind of shifts do students study on? Scholarships! Now that that's over. Scholarship is the first pillar of NJS. Scholarship means a commitment to learning.
Like the Constitution says, we the students should continue learning even after this thing called school is ending.
That's not the Constitution.
Anyway, knowledge is one great element in life, and it will help you achieve the highest success. And the one way to do this, it can be acquired through diligence and effort.
To accomplish almost everything in life, you need not only your old knowledge, but the new knowledge you recently learned, and even then, you keep learning.
Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through opportunities inherent in knowledge.
They will continue to not only expand their educational knowledge, but their world knowledge as well.
This has been Maddie and Taylor with service. Up next is Marissa with, this has been Maddie and Taylor with scholarship. Up next is Marissa with service. I'm sorry.
Service. Another pillar of NJHS is service. Service could be described in various ways. Service could be helping others without acknowledgement daily. Another quality we look for in our members is students who enjoy working for others. We have committed our time and ability to volunteering. We're committed to volunteering our time and abilities for a better tomorrow. Many of our students have participated working at events such as Carson's Carnival, the Jingle Bell Run, and the Elementary Scrap Fair. We all do jobs during lunch plus to help our school, such as recycling, media, office, and we help care for Miss Libby's turtle. I introduce Carrie and Danielle with leadership.
Leadership should exert a wholesome influence in our school, taking initiative in class and school activities. The real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective.
The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interest for the interest of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate.
No matter what power and resources may exist in our country, they are not ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader.
Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a vital charge to each of our members. Here are some examples of our members being leaders. Carrie Jacoby was one of the captains for both the MCMS volleyball team and basketball teams.
As well as Danielle Mellon and Maddie Haas being captains of our school cheer and pom squad. Emma Poteet being a captain of our MCMS volleyball and cheer squad. An example of leadership in our group is Joy Lesby, taking the responsibility to be the president of our MGHS. Next we have Haley and Abby with citizenship.
Citizenship, a noun. The qualities that a person is expected to have as a responsible member of a community. The responsibilities each of us has to our home community, our state, and our nation are many. As good citizens, we are bound to live up to the laws and guidelines which unites us as a civilized society.
Being a member of any society comes with responsibilities, a job to fulfill. Much like how the older generation has their jobs, we not only as National Junior Honor Society members, but as citizens, come with responsibilities. As citizens would as well have jobs to do for our community. Over this past year, we have successfully accomplished a number of events such as Carson's Carnival, Christmas in April, and helped with the Dingo Ball Run. Next up, we have Meredith Embry and Justin Winson with character.
Character is the force within each individual which distinguishes that person from others. It gives each one individuality. It is that without which no one can respect oneself, nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is this force of character which guides one through life, and, when once developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action and daily striving to make the right choice.
The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be in reality what we wish to appear to others. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship, we may hope to prove by example that we value character. Based on character, Denasia Morton won Diamondback of the Year last year, and Joey Lesby has been Diamondback of the Year for 2 years in a row. All of us have been student nominees as well. We have all received positive referrals this year.
And next is Joey Lesby again.
Now we welcome Miss Murphy up, our great teacher and sponsor.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Mrs. Murphy, and I have the privilege of leading these guys that you see behind me. I've been the sponsor of the National Junior Honor Society for the past 16 years. In the end of my very first year teaching, I had a principal who believed in me, and she's actually right there. Thank you. So she's back here to support us today in honoring these wonderful children. Thank you for all your support, parents, and 6th graders, you're out there probably wondering, what is this all about? Stay tuned, because we want you next year when you're eligible. As our president, Joey, shared with you, National Junior Honor Society is about a lot more than just the good kids, the kids who get good grades. The work does not stop in the classroom for these guys. They've continued to prove to be outstanding individuals, from leading organizations to playing a backdoor role, to being behind the scenes and everything. They make copies for teachers, they pamper our school turtle, they do it all, and they do it very well. They've also been very excited to prepare for today's ceremony. You can probably sense their anxiety up here, but keep in mind, they're normal. They're most excited probably to miss 4 periods of class. Am I right? Yeah. So they're still normal kids and they have a good time, but they know when to get things done and when to take things seriously. So I want to tell you a little bit about the application process. Any 7th or 8th grade student who has the grade requirement is eligible to apply. Then they need to advocate for themselves. They write an essay about what service means to them, because many of them have not been exposed to much service, but they know that it is important and they want to continue. And this is the place that we help them continue. So after that, they then ask teachers for recommendations. And that's my favorite part. It reminds me of what wonderful teachers we have in this building, because they have made a wonderful impact on students and they have great things to say about them. So in order to be accepted, they must earn 85% of the required points available in the scoring rubric. 30 of those students have earned those points today and will be inducted. As I introduce each student, you're going to notice a trend. Not only are they just great kids, but the teachers write comments telling that they are high achievers, they're respectful, responsible, and resilient, 3 things that we strive for here at Mill Creek. With that being said, I'd like to start by inducting our first member. Our first inductee is someone who Mrs. Gibson says is kind and cooperative. He's a hard worker who always has an interesting point of view to add in the classroom. I'd like to invite Jackson Abels to the stage, and Mr. Sammons, can you please come up also? Up next, we have a 7th grade young lady that Mrs. Gallahue describes as the cream of the crop. She rises to meet every challenge. Mrs. Brewer noted her outstanding character is makes her one of the finest students to ever walk into her room. Welcome, Anna Bynum. Our next young lady told me this morning she just didn't want to go first. Well, you're 3rd. Next, we have a young lady who Ms. Webb says is a delightful young lady who approaches school with a good attitude and outstanding effort. We welcome you, Madison Cashman. Next, we have an 8th grader who I in the classroom can always count on to take things to the next level. He explains and questions in a way that benefits everyone in the room. Mr. Fisher agrees that he is just simply a wonderful young man. Mr. David de Guzman. Next, we have a 7th grade young lady who stood out to her teacher as someone who continues to keep a positive attitude even when the material gets difficult. She never complains, always works hard, and always helps others. Miss Kalia Fairley. Next, we have a young lady who has already, with her animated ability, has learned to advocate for herself and work hard to learn. She doesn't just want the good grades, she wants to understand the topic and she wants to be able to move on with confidence. And she does this beautifully in my math class as well. So I'm very proud to welcome Emily Fox. Our next young man has a heart of gold. He is so hardworking and gives all that he has. He will continue to work even after the bell just to make sure his work is top-notch. His level of understanding is satisfactory. Congratulations, Justin Fulton. Our next inductee is a 7th grade young man who not only advanced to the county level for his outstanding work in History Fair, he came home with a science award from the History Fair. Mr. Fisher was certainly right when he said this guy just has a knack for science. He works hard in math, trying to bring challenges upon himself, the class, and his teacher. Welcome, Noah Gill. We now have a 7th grade young lady whom Miss Gallahue describes as hardworking, patient, and kind. Ms. Webb says she is attentive and challenges herself with her work. Welcome, Jordan Goss. Our next young lady is ready to take on further responsibility and challenges according to Mrs. Gibson. Mr. Devis says that her getting a B might actually do her some good one day, but I don't see it happening ever. Welcome, Caroline Graves. So we have a really good problem here. We have so many students to induct that we can't fit them all on the stage at one time. So I'd like you guys that are up here now, you may go ahead and blow out your candles. You are now officially inducted. And you can take a seat back here on the stage until we have everybody with us. Our next inductee is intrinsically driven to succeed. She's quiet, but works so hard that she stands out with outstanding quality work. We've also known her since she was a little toddler coming in this building with her big brother. We look forward to working with you, Corey Hunter. Next is a young man very comfortable in the role of service. He doesn't crave the spotlight. In fact, he'd prefer to be on the stage crew of any project, but he will complete any task given to him with joy and full effort. He's a total gentleman. I've only observed him being kind and helpful to everyone he encounters. Mr. Christian Akaza. Next, we have a young lady who I have the privilege of watching her light up the hallway every day she walks down the hall. She's kind-hearted and giving, always respectful to staff, students, anyone she encounters. She goes out of her way already to help others. We're excited to have you, Marlena Jeffrey. Our next young lady is described as a great kid and an overall awesome student by Mrs. Davies. I myself can always count on her to greet me with a smile, come prepared to work, and leave with a smile. We welcome you, Emma Kearns. We now welcome a young woman that Mrs. Knott describes as lovely and a serious student. Despite anything that is happening around her, she puts forth her best effort always. We certainly look forward to working with you. Oluwaseun Kuntunde. Our next inductee is delightful. She strives for success and accepts nothing short of perfection. Welcome, Hannah Kornacki. Our next young man is someone Miss Taylor couldn't stop writing about. Seriously, I've been doing this for 16 years and it is the longest teacher recommendation I have ever read. It had every wonderful thing you can imagine being said about this young man. Overall, she describes him as the most kind-hearted individual she knows. He's respectful to everyone. He comes across and she feels very lucky to have him as a student. We welcome you, Lucas Lusby. Mrs. Everett says that our next inductee enters with a hello and exits with a goodbye every day. This is something that not many students value, but all teachers respect that student that comes in with a hello and leaves with a goodbye. She is also always willing to take a risk. Welcome, Diana Layton. Our next young man is an 8th grader who is extremely polite and hardworking. He's always on task and ready to add something valuable to every conversation in the classroom. Welcome, Scott Knights. Next is another 8th grader who speaks to my math heart every day he walks into my classroom. He is well aware of his ability and knows how to push himself harder. He is a student I really wish I could clone to have every year, Mr. Stephen Nickish. So now we are 2/3 of the way done. I'd like you guys to go ahead and blow out your candles and join the other new inductees on the stage. Our next young lady is someone who isn't afraid to take a risk in class. We work really hard making students feel comfortable enough to not be afraid to fail. She is the epitome of working hard and never giving up. Welcome, Haley Pierce. Mrs. Davies says this next young lady has a can-do attitude with the enthusiasm that will make her a great asset to the National Junior Honor Society. Welcome, Jasmine Pitcher. Mrs. Rivers explains our next inductee as a conscientious and hard worker. She always goes above and beyond the project criteria in art, and I can speak of the same in the classroom. Welcome, Brittany Platts. This next young lady was described by Mrs. Brewer as one of the finest leaders she has ever taught, not only when asked to lead, but simply by her actions. She isn't afraid to make helpful suggestions to others in a respectful manner. Welcome, Raven Randolph. Next is a young lady who is an awesome worker with great willingness to be a part of something bigger. Well, here's your chance, Nia Pledger. Our next young lady was Diamondback of the Year last year in 6th grade. I giggled when Mr. Fisher wrote on his teacher recommendation. He simply said, "You just can't go wrong with her," and it's so true. We welcome you, Elena Siebert. Our next 8th grade inductee has not been at Mill Creek all 3 of his middle school years, but he was quick to make a great impression when he showed up on the scene. His intelligence and willingness to work is consistent and stands out every day. Welcome, Zachary Stewart. Next is an 8th grade artist whom Mrs. Rivers describes as focused, dedicated, and thriving to elevate her work to a higher level. Congratulations, Mackenzie Treadway. Our next young lady received every teacher recommendation point possible in the application process. In fact, if they could have given bonus points, she probably would have gotten them. She doesn't miss a beat in class. She's diligent and attacks each project with confidence. Congratulations, Riley Winker. Our last inductee for the 2016 school year is a young lady who is meticulous with everything she does in the classroom. Mrs. Toohey is her Green Team sponsor and says she can't think of anyone in this building who is more deserving of infusion in this prestigious organization. Congratulations, Aubrey Zellweger. If you guys back here could all stand, all of our new inductees, let's give them all one big round of applause. If you guys up front could please blow out your candles and join the new inductees. Joey is going to lead you in the pledge. So on your seats, you'll see a slip of paper with a pledge. Please grab that.
Repeat after me. I pledge myself to uphold the high purposes of the National Junior Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school and will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, citizenship, and character.
Congratulations. You may have a seat. At this time, I'd like to welcome Mr. Navarro to the stage from the Board of Education, who took time out of his busy day to come offer us some remarks. Thank you.
We're all busy. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Thank you to, good morning. Good morning. Thank you to Principal Bowen, Vice Principal Mr. Sammons, Dean Ms. Goins, and Ms. Murphy for the invitation to come to Mill Creek Middle School and recognize so many outstanding students. Also, I would like to recognize Ms. Kim Ruth, the founding principal of Mill Creek Middle School. Let's give her a round of applause. Congratulations to the parents here today. Only you know of the many sacrifices that a parent makes in the hope that their children will have a successful life. Today is a mark of accomplishment for your many sacrifices in parenting. And I would like to congratulate all the Mill Creek Middle School students for your induction into the National Junior Honor Society today. You are being recognized for outstanding achievement in your courses, school leadership, and exemplary character both in and out of the classroom. And one comment about character. Character is very important because your character is like your shadow. It follows you everywhere. And this quote is from Bob Feller, Hall of Fame pitcher for the Cleveland Indians from 1936 to 1941 and 1945 to 1956. And from 1941 to 1945, he served on the USS Alabama. And just a few words about Mr. Feller. He grew up in Van Meter, Iowa, and pitched his first major league game at the age of 17. Growing up, every day he played catch with his father. And he later suggested that his arm strength and ball speed during his major league career came from his childhood work of milking cows, picking corn, and baling hay. Well, what happened between 1941 and 1945? He was the very first professional athlete to join the United States Armed Forces in December 1941. And he set an example of duty, honor, and country. Bob Feller was decorated with 6 campaign ribbons and 8 battle stars for his service as a gun captain on the USS Alabama during World War II. And I encourage you to read about his life and career. Mr. Feller is truly a great American. And remember, wherever you go in life, people will long remember you for who you are, your honesty, integrity, and trustworthiness. You have earned this National Junior Honor Society induction due to your hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Earning excellent grades is more than just getting high test scores. It is a lifelong love of earning. And in the end, it is the sum of all the small choices you make. Each time you decide you want to learn something, the experience will be so rewarding that the next time it becomes easier. Soon learning becomes a habit. At that point, your desire to learn makes getting excellent grades easier while taking the focus off of grades. The knowledge can still be hard to gain, but knowing you've mastered a difficult subject is an awesome reward. Suddenly, the world around you becomes richer and full of learning opportunities. You have developed additional habits of success in school, such as following directions, doing your homework, listening to your teachers, and completing your classwork. All of this is so important to learn because you have demonstrated responsibility. And just a few words about leadership. Leadership is not about being elected or appointed to an office. The office doesn't teach someone how to be a leader. Leadership is an attitude developed over time. Are you one to stand up for what you believe in and face the music, even when that music happens to be unpleasant? Do you have a purpose and follow that purpose to get the ends you desire? Do you have a vision? And what are the values you have as a person you have learned from your parents? These are all questions that true leaders answer in the affirmative. And within the next 10 years, most of you will have finished your days in school and you will have started your career. Along with your accomplishments in school and the responsibility you've displayed, you will be able to choose from many careers so that you can provide for yourself and your family. And I emphasize the word career, not just getting a job. Do something in life that you love to do, and you will never really work. And look no further than the teachers and staff at Mill Creek Middle School. They love to work with children and students as they come here every day to make better students of the Mill Creek children and better children for the Mill Creek students. And continue to take advantage of all the opportunities at Mill Creek Middle School and High School, including athletics, drama clubs, band, chorus. You can develop leadership skills by belonging and contributing to the success of these organizations. And most importantly, while your parents are very proud of you in this recognition, please thank them for all the support and guidance they have given you. You can always count on your parents. We trust that you will continue your accomplishment in the years ahead, and thank you for the invitation to be here today. It is always a pleasure to see young people on their way to success in school and then success in life. Thank you.
All right, I just want to take a minute to say a couple thank yous. First, thanks Mr. Navarro and Ms. Roof for coming today, giving up some time to support us. Second, thank you to the parents. I know you've got busy schedules. Thanks for coming today to support your students. But most importantly, I forgot, Ms. Murphy, thank you for supporting us and doing this organization for 16 years. It's an important part of Mill Creek. But most importantly, I'm standing like this because I want to talk to them. Most importantly, I want to thank our inductees. I want to thank you for consistently maintaining your high academic performance. Thank you for taking the initiative to become leaders in our classroom. Thank you for making the right choices and displaying good character each and every day. But the last pillar is service, and this is the one I wanted to talk about for a minute. My own personal experience with service was in school, I had to do 25 hours of community service every year was a requirement. And it had a lasting impact on me. But I'll be honest, my freshman year, I didn't take it seriously. Did the bare minimum, and honestly, it had no impact on me. It wasn't a great experience. But after that, my sophomore year, I had a teacher ask me to volunteer at a camp for deaf children. And I said, sure, why not? It went way beyond those 24 hours, but that experience had a lasting impact. It led to me wanting to get an education, and eventually led to me majoring in special education and becoming a teacher and eventually coming here to Mill Creek as an administrator. This is where I learned that one of the greatest gifts you can give someone is your time. So today I urge our inductees to seek out valuable experiences, to volunteer, to use your time to give back to our community and help others. I urge our teachers to provide our students with some opportunities to show that they really can make a difference. And parents, since they can't drive, I urge you to be their taxi driver and take them to some volunteer experiences. So could we just have all of our inductees and everybody in our National Junior Honor Society please stand up? And let's give them one last round of applause. All right. We're going to have all the inductees and parents stick around so you can get all those pictures for Facebook. And then after that, we invite you to go to the media center. There'll be refreshments at reception over there. But first, can we get all the students in the back to please stand up and go to your class? Yeah, you're heading to second period, seconds.